PlayStation reverses course on Helldivers 2 PSN account requirement. This is Kat Bailey at IGN.com. PlayStation has reversed course on the Helldivers 2 PSN account requirement, walking back the unpopular policy after a weekend-long backlash that included tens of thousands of negative reviews, some of which spread to Sony's other Steam games. Quote, Helldivers fans, we've heard your feedback on the Helldivers 2 account linking update. The May 6th update, which would have required Steam and PlayStation Network account linking for new players and for current players beginning May 30th, will not be moving forward, PlayStation wrote on the official account. Quote, we're still learning what is best for PC players, and your feedback has been invaluable. Thanks again for your continued support of Helldivers 2, and we'll keep you updated on future plans, end quote. PlayStation's decision means that Helldivers 2 players on Steam won't have to link a PSN account in order to play. The unpopular policy, which would have seen new players confronted with a mandatory login beginning this week, resulted in Helldivers 2 being delisted in around 177 countries. At one point, Arrowhead CEO Johan Pilestead, clearly frustrated over the controversy, posted, quote, waking up to the sunshine of yesterday, replaced with a dreary drizzle and shivering winds. Shivering winds makes me reflect on how I spent my time, those rare few moments when it was all perfect, end quote.
That's heartbreaking.
Dude, the fucking saga of this.
Yeah.
The fucking saga of this, where it has gone from, like, you talk about bringing in the Airhead CEO, you talk about PlayStation, you talk about the audience, you talk about everything Tim and I talked about on Games Daily when this originally popped off, and it being like, they're gonna walk us back. How, you know, what's the apology gonna be? Are they, blah, blah. It's like, just what? There's two different roads to go down, I think, Raj. Number one, there's the, what an unforced error, what a fucking rake to step on in your front yard, what a lousy business decision from PlayStation and some fucking suit at the top not to realize how this was going to go.
Yeah.
To be this detached from gamer culture, to understand that once the genie's out of the bottle, you can't put it back in. And I understand that it said at the start, you're going to have to link your accounts. But I also understand that when Helldivers launched and they were just trying to make it work, they turned that off. And once they turned that off and said it was like, done. You can't go back. You can't put it back.
No.
Then the other side of it is the idea of, if we want to silver line it a bit, PlayStation did the right thing in the end.
Sure.
They did it after a whole bunch of people bitched and moaned and review bombed and did all these different things. But, like, do they get credit for that ever? Can they recover from this with the PC audience?
Will they recover? Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima, we'll talk about that later, right? I mean, that's going to come out. People are going to like it. People are going to be fine with it. It's going to be a momentary, plague on their report card. But I think I'm just more stunned that this didn't happen sooner. I really thought that with the amount of backlash and how pointed it was, and the fact that Steam was like literally like, okay, fine, you play this game for 100 hours, doesn't matter, we'll give you a refund. Like, that's money coming out of their pockets now. Okay, well, I was so surprised that this lasted until Sunday? Like, I thought this was going to be a 12-hour thing at max.
You assume that's the straw that actually broke the camel's back. Yeah. It wasn't so much the outrage. It wasn't so much the review bombing, which was intense, obviously, and insane. It was more the fact that when Steam did say, okay, cool, it's delisted in all these different countries and we're just going to refund it, that must have been it when it started hitting PlayStation's pocketbook, and that when they're like, oh, fuck.
And that's why I think that they won't get like, oh, good on you for finally doing it. I mean, I think I've already seen like images of people like going back and editing their reviews, which is great, and you should do that if, you shouldn't leave a negative review for something that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they're going to get like a good on you, PlayStation, for listening to us, because it took them losing a lot of money, losing entire markets.
And the thing about it, right? Like, what I appreciate about the entire journey is I see all the perspectives, and I was checking in on the Helldivers subreddit throughout the weekend. And once this happened, what I found interesting is something you don't necessarily see a lot in every community, which of course is trying to separate developer and publisher. Right, we go back to Pilestead, right, the CEO, and how there'd been tweets of like, this was a PlayStation decision. We don't know what this means. We're working on it, kind of thing. And so when they were getting, Arrowhead was getting all of it, there is understandable flack to get, right? But they were, Pilestead in particular, very upfront and open to talking about what was happening and why it was happening, trying to do it, right? And my point I'm driving at is that once this decision was reversed last night, multiple threads on the subreddit urging everyone to go change their Steam reviews. It was very much like, we were using this as a way to show our displeasure and get this. Now that we've done it, you got to switch it back so that the developers and the game we all love gets the appropriate amount of love.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it was messy, of course, the communication, because it was all coming in real time.
Of course.
But like, it was kind of refreshing to see Arrowhead like fully just be like, this is Sony's decision, and like them going through the whole steps, like seeing the screenshots from Discord of them being like, we don't know what the fuck's happening. We're talking to them. We're trying to figure it out. Like, I'm sure Sony was not happy about that, of that happening in real time in front of everybody, but it was nice to see from a gamer's perspective, from a player's perspective, that they cared so much that they were like, fuck it, we're just going to tell you exactly what's happening as it's happening.
And, the article calls out from Kat, the one Powell said tweet. There's a whole bunch up here. This is one that I appreciate that he's got here, right? He says, firstly, I'm impressed by the willpower of the Helldivers community and your ability to collaborate. Secondly, I want to thank our partners and friends at PlayStation for quickly and effectively making the decision to leave PSN linking optional. We together want to set a new standard for what a live game is and how developers and community can support each other to create the best game experiences. Again, I understand I've already said it, so I'm fucking a demon to everybody out there who hates it, but like, PlayStation responded quickly. For a big company like PlayStation that doesn't respond quickly, they did. Sure. And yeah, it took hitting them in the wall and doing all these things. And they're like, I'm not saying that it like they did this flawlessly or this is a great PR move from them, but at least they changed it. They could have just battened down the hatches and be like, we're gonna fucking lose all these people. We don't care. I appreciate that they did this. There's another one too, right? Of like, I'll have to send it to Barrett, but Powell said did this. Also, an accidental cape design is pretty cool from a community member. And it's the screenshot of all the fucking reviews when they were getting bombed, right?
That's sick.
This episode's brought to you by Aura Frames. Looking for the perfect gift to celebrate the moms in your life? Aura Frames are beautiful Wi-Fi connected digital picture frames that allow you to share and display unlimited photos. It's super easy to upload and share photos via the Aura app, and if you're giving an Aura as a gift, you can even personalize the frame with preloaded photos and memories. Greg, Kevin, and a ton of people here at Kind of Funny are obsessed with their Aura frames. It takes about 2 minutes to set up a frame using the Aura app. You can add unlimited photos and videos and invite as many people as you want to a frame. Aura displays photos in true color and automatically adjusts for the light level of the room. At night, when you turn off the lights, your frame also turns off to save energy. From grandmothers to new mothers, aunts, and even the friends in your life, every mom would love an Aura frame. Right now, Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. Listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $30 off plus free shipping on their best-selling frame. That's auraframes.com and use code KINDOFFUNNY at checkout to save. Terms and conditions apply. This episode's brought to you by Shady Rays. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers an unrivaled product that's just as good as any expensive pair we've worn. Durable frames and world-class optics for all outdoor adventures. With an extensive array of styles and colors, you're bound to find the perfect pair of Shady Rays sunglasses. Y'all know I've been outside in the sun playing a lot of Pokemon Go, and it's such a great experience wearing Shady Rays when I am out and about looking dope. That's not all. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost or broken replacements. If you lose or break a pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Exclusively for you, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use code KF20 for $20 off each pair of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. This episode's brought to you by BetterHelp. We all carry around different stressors, big and small. I'm currently planning a wedding, so I know all about that. But when we keep them bottled up, it can start to affect us negatively. Therapy helps you find your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that really stick. You can get out of your negative thought cycles and find some mental and emotional peace, and it can give you the tools to find more balance in your life so you can keep supporting others without leaving yourself behind. Some of my best friends use BetterHelp and love how helpful it can be for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself, and it isn't just for those those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapist at any time for no additional charge. Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit BetterHelp.com/kindafunny today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/kindafunny.
It's a shitty, sad situation.
Yeah.
And it's sad it's shitty for fans. It's sad for Arrowhead. And it's like, you're fucking boneheads at PlayStation.
Yeah.
Get out of your own fucking way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why? Like, anyone could have told you. Anyone could have told you. You were the success story.
Yeah.
So even when we get to end of the year now, and I assume, kind of funny at least, well, I shouldn't even say that. For me, this is going to be high. This is my game of the year right now. So when you get to those discussions, whether it's us, Giant Bomb, whoever, talking about Helldivers, it's going to come around.
Yeah.
And this is now going to be a footnote in every one of those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, is it though?
I think so.
Really?
And I think it'll also be how they recover from this.
Yeah.
Because I do think that with the cape design joke right there, that will be real. That will be a real cape design in no time flat.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what they need to do is lean into this. I wouldn't be surprised if we sign in there's some goofy major order or a reward, a whole bunch of medals that are like, thanks for fighting the good fight on, and they, generalize it, but you understand between the lines they're talking about this kind of thing.
I really don't think this is going to be something we talk about in the next 3 months, like in any shape or form when we talk about Helldivers.
But that's why I'm talking about game of the year. When you're doing
sure.
what a year Helldivers has had, except for that one part when they lost all this. And it's also like back to the Steam refunds.
Yeah.
How many of those players are then going to buy the game again?
Yeah.
And get it relisted in those countries and do that. Like, Barrett, if you have time at some point, if you could throw up the Steam charts, how many people are concurrently playing right now on Steam? You know what I mean? And what's the 24-hour peak ben and all that jazz, right? Like, are they rushing back to it? Or is everybody doing that? I know nothing about PC gaming, and I'm fucking proud of it. But like when you refund a game and do all that, do you hold on to your save files? Like if you download, I guess it's on their side, server side, so you should be fine.
Yeah.
Little shit like that, right? Of like, is this going to be an issue? Yeah, 96,000 players on right now, 24-hour peak.
And even over the weekend when all of this was popping up, it was still, I remember checking in, it was like 91.
Yeah, well, today was going to be the big day, right? Of like, okay, with this, but so I wonder how many people refunded whatever, but like, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a crazy run here and all this stuff.
What was the consensus that we, or is what we're talking about of like why they did this? Like PlayStation, is it just because they're like, hey,
you didn't read? You didn't read? They did the why they did this, of course, was for security.
Oh,
and for
sorry,
safety.
my bad.
It wasn't at all about
nothing else.
For the kids,
nothing
It wasn't all about being able to
else.
say your next fiscal year report. Oh, we also had this many gigantic month over month. This is how many people added in to do. Like, no. It was
do you think that this was in part a way to try and get people into the PlayStation ecosystem?
1,000%.
In a way of like, specifically, I don't think a lot of people play Helldivers and think that this is a PlayStation thing at all.
1,000%.
Yeah.
The long and short of this, for me, sideline guy, no inside information, is that Ghost of Tsushima is imminent on PC. It has the PlayStation integration, your trophies, all that jazz, yada, yada, yada. That is what the standard will be going forward. I imagine that, maybe not the trophy integration because I don't think that worked yet, is what they wanted with Helldivers. They want, like, this is how it was meant to be from the beginning.
Yeah.
And if they would have launched the game that way, nobody would have fucking known. Well, people would have complained, but it wouldn't have been this. It wouldn't have been this issue. And it would, like, that's the other thing if you're PlayStation right now. And I understand it's late and we're going to get backlash, but even if we only get 10% of them converted, we'll get this many PlayStation accounts. Like, there's that, like, you can see it. It's the greed of it, which I don't love saying because, like, obviously if there was like, hey, Greg, here's a way to get a whole bunch of new kind of funny subs, I'd be interested in hearing what it was. Maybe not forcing them to do stuff. And like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a whole, I'm talking a lot of weird hypotheticals here. But like,
and I also could see from their perspective of like looking at it and being like, fucking Rockstar has a launcher. All these other people have launchers. So,
and
like,
that's the thing.
This is not new for
they are
PC
kicking
gamers.
themselves at PlayStation because they couldn't make it work for launch.
Yeah.
If they would have made it work for launch, it would have been fine. Now they're there, and I'm sure there's got to be this thing of like, the standard is you're going to log in your PSN. We're about to launch Ghost of Tsushima, so you need to make sure it's working, or let's try to time it out to be right there and da-da-da.
Do you think that they, let's say 3 years from now, or a year from now, or whatever, they release a new game, they're like, hey, now it's forced. Like, now we can, do you think that is going to be, or they can never, because like in my mind, I'm like, they can't do this ever again. Like, it's always going to be optional. It has to be optional forever. I don't know. I think that's where it needs to go.
I don't think so. Like I think it is going to be mandatory. But the I guess where it gets wonka donkey is like, is Ghost mandatory? I doubt it because Ghost isn't a multiplayer. Well, I guess Legends is in there, isn't it?
It's not mandatory. I think that was like news.
Okay.
Correct.
Might be one of our stories today.
Oh, well, maybe. Maybe it's right here.
Is that the next one? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay, so let's get into that then. Add that in. Thank you very much. I thought we were going somewhere else with that next. Number 2, Ghost of Tsushima developer wants you to know that you can play it on Steam without linking to a PSN account. This is Vicky Blake at Eurogamer. As Helldivers 2 is pulled from sale in 177 countries following the disastrous rollout of mandatory PSN linking, Ghost of Tsushima developer Sucker Punch wants you to know that PSN is not required if you play the Director's Cut single-player campaign on Steam. As spotted by WCCF Tech, the studio responded to a now hidden Twitter/X message to the studio, assuring players that a PSN account, quote, is not required to play the single-player game, although you will need to link it if you want to do the online multiplayer. Fucking nailed it, Greg Miller. Ha, ba, 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 yeah, ha, ha. Anyways, what the now hidden tweet looked like this. It was from Xeno Aliens. Like, I'm always going and breaking my news here, asking the hard question. Cancel my pre-order since PlayStation wants to force me to link my Steam account to my PlayStation account. Unless PlayStation abrogates this policy, I won't be purchasing any PlayStation title. Sucker Punch said, thank you for your feedback. Just so you're aware, a PSN account is required for Legends online multiplayer mode and to use PlayStation Overlay. It is not required to play the single-player game. So, back to it then. I think any one of their live games as service will require this from here on out.
Yeah.
Fair Games, but the one from Bungie that I can't, Marathon, like all of those are going to be like, you need to do this.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I think that will piss off a lot of people. It will keep a lot of people away. But I think the overall consensus was very split. And I think it shows the differences in audiences. I don't know why. But these inbred PC hicks who got their anime pillows and their filthy fingers and their little... They don't watch a lot of Kind of Funny content. I don't know why. But our audience, our audience didn't care. Yeah. On Games Daily, everyone's like, this is a non-story. Why are you even talking about it? Blah, 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 blah. Whereas you jump to the Helldivers community and the PC community, and they were very much like, yo, fucking stand up for this and stop this and da-da-da. And there's that very hilarious TikTok of... Did you see this one of like... It was this guy who's like, I'm going to go buy a game. And it was like everything you're saying. Ubisoft, hey, we got to do this launch. No problem. I don't mind. Yeah. Rockstar, oh, it's okay. And somebody, yeah. PlayStation, how would you do this to the community, you fucking money? It's like, there's more nuance to the conversation there than not. But you know what I mean? Like, again, it just comes down to, you didn't have it at launch, and you had to walk away. You had to walk away from the table. Then. And
that's why, honestly, like Ghost of Tsushima coming out on PC now, and the fact that it's only the multiplayer that you need to sign into is like a good like Trojan horse. Like, okay, we're still doing it, but it's only the multiplayer, which, to be honest, not many people are going to be buying that game for. They're going to be playing it for the single player, right? Yeah. So then,
that's great.
It's great, but like going forward, and then the next one, I don't know what the next one's going to be, the next actual live service one, then it's going to be like, it's died down a little bit. It's at launch, right? So it's like, okay,
I think there
it's
you
not
get
a big
into the
deal.
messaging of, which is a lie, clearly, that it makes it run better, it's an easier experience,
exactly. It connects to this thing, and it does that thing.
I mean, again, like, I know no one in the boardrooms listened to us / the developers, who I'm sure we're begging them not to do this. And I saw another maybe not a long thread, but I saw a long response from the CEO over the weekend that was like, when we set off on this journey with PlayStation 9 years ago, we signed the contract, and this was in there, but we, and like being very much like, yeah, we knew this was going to happen, but not this way. And like, we had no control over how it happened this way. Like, any fucking bonehead could tell you, don't make it mandatory, you're going to piss everybody off. But you want those PSN accounts for this game everyone's obsessed with? Let me think of, make a fucking PSN exclusive war bond. Sign in and you get it on Steam. Yeah. Everybody, like, then it would have been such a, I hate PlayStation, but I want that cool thing. I get this.
Give some type of positive to it.
There's a 3-page war bond with cool outfits and a cool gun on it. Why not do that for free? Right? Not pay to win. It's okay. I get the war bond just by linking my accounts.
Yeah. PlayStation themed.
So easy. That's awesome. Why not do that? Yeah. The amount of shit I have linked when it's like, link your Twitch and Twitch Prime will give you this mount for, oh my God, let's
go. But
even
then it would honestly need to be optional at that point. Like,
well, of course you don't have to. Yeah. Again, I think there's such a difference of day and date, it's out and it's mandatory versus cool, you've had 3 months with it and now we're locking you out. And again, to the point of what everybody's mad about. Like, it's going to get, there's no PSN in your country, but you could go and make a PSN and lie about your country, and then other PlayStation Q&A things popping up like, no, you can't do that. And then PlayStation responsive like, we'll never make you link. It's just like...
just a shit show.
This is as bad as back in the day. Like, the Q&As and all the stuff from PlayStation are as bad as back in the day when, for a bit on Beyond, I called in and I was asking about a God of War ad on the back of a PSP manual, and the guy was like, no, I don't even play PlayStation. All right, he's like, I only play Gears of War on PlayStation. I'm like, Gears of War is on PlayStation. And I had the whole argument with the guy working at PlayStation that Gears of War is on PlayStation. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, there's so much shit out there.
Yeah.
And so many different things. And making games complicated, and I understand we are living in a time and industry where monetizing a game is more complicated than ever. So again, I get PlayStation going, man, it'd be great to have all these PSN accounts. But again, you fucked it up. You didn't have it at launch, and there's so many better ways to get people to make a PSN account.
Yeah, there was no positive to it.
Yeah, there was no positive at all for this. And so it's such a shame. Again, and like, luckily on those Steam numbers, it doesn't look like they've missed a step.
Yeah.
You really do hope that the community, which again, like, the Helldivers community, and I guess this is a limited, I'm in a lot of online communities, I guess. But it's like they've been so supportive. And even after the fact now of, all right, you fucked up, let's be better. Like, I feel like they get it in a way that, like, we understand we're playing this indie game that's doing something nobody else should be doing, right? An indie published by PlayStation, no. But you know what I mean? In terms of, like, they're making the live service game that is the example of what a live service game should be in 2024.
Yeah, and I think Arrowhead being vulnerable and talking about this honestly went way above and beyond with all this. If they were just silent, they battened down the hatches, they wouldn't have had that reaction right now as they're having right now.
CJ Splitson has a super chat here on the issue. Well, two of them actually. Not on the issue. He says, "Love the food shirt."
Oh, I guess it's
It's
food.
food.
Yeah. It's MF Doom. MF Doom Collector. I don't know why I like freaked out there. It's food because his name is MF Doom.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, am I supposed to say
Doom.
MM? It's like, no,
Okay.
it's definitely food.
Then he goes on to say, so does this mean people will be as mad about Ubisoft, Microsoft, EA, Capcom, and Rockstar launches in the future? I don't want to sign up for those either. But of course, no. The answer is no. But it's because they'll be there from day to day, and you won't get what it really feels like. And I get it. Again, like I made the joke at the top, but like I get the PC audiences, like, you pulled the rug out from under me. I bought this. I've been playing it. Everything's been fine.
Yeah.
Now you're adding in this mandatory thing that's like stupid as hell that I don't want to sign up for some, you know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Give us bonuses. Give us bonuses when we sign up with our PSN. Come on.
Pretty Dude says Helldivers 2 is still not available in 177 countries. Correct. They've been delisted. They haven't been reinstated, I think, because Steam's just laughing. You know what I mean? Like, Steam doesn't give a shit about the money. They just love watching PlayStation squirm, I'm sure. And Sid Harth says, if account linking was planned from the beginning, then why did they sell it in countries where there is no PSN? Were they expecting those people to violate their terms of service in the first place?
Great question.
Here's what I'll tell you, Sid Harth. PlayStation, not as smart as you think. I always joke around about us, the garbage truck on fire. There's 11 of us. I don't know what Joey's doing, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, I don't know what Roger's doing most days, right? Like, it's just, imagine that with thousands of people in different silos and different things. I would imagine that the people who are making this decision never even fucking thought for a second that 177 countries or whatever it is don't have the PSN. They were probably the people who were like, well, yeah, then just fucking make a fake PSN. And then the people who do the toss are like, what are you talking about? That's a violation of the fucking thing. You can't do that.
Garbage truck.
Video games, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, it's all done. It's over now. We can all go hell dive.
Woo!
And if you still want these fucking PSN accounts, it's too late now. You couldn't even do it. You couldn't even give me a free pass now.
No.
Give me a cool pass.
No.
And also, again, as I was talking about, why do this and not have cross progression enabled yet?
Is that supposed to happen?
They've said that they want to work towards it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like that didn't happen. Like what? There's so many ways.
Nah, they need it now.
To give you a little bit of sugar with this medicine.
Yeah.
And instead they're like, we want to pour the medicine in your fucking eyes.
Yeah.
So lay down or you'll die. And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm healthy. Lay down. No.